have a question.
Okay, go ahead, Ricky.
My question is, how does this? So obviously, we keep, the government keeps doing these policies that protect, renters or less fortunate people. But are these landlords going to be able to pay the mortgage if these tenants don't pay the rent? Because I've spoken to a lot of landlords in Upland that they need the rent money to pay the mortgage. So if we say, yeah, you have to pay your rent right now, how is it protecting the middle class? Because usually people that own property are middle class, higher middle class. Is there anywhere in this resolution that will protect the middle class or the landlord? I read the resolution by the governor. It says in a timely manner. What's a timely manner? To me, a timely manner could be a month, could be a couple months. It all depends on what a timely manner is to the tenant. At the same time, it doesn't foreclosure things that. What if these people, let's say I'm not going to pay my rent for 2 months? They get, then there's no eviction obviously, but now they're saving their money. They're saving the money from the stimulus package. Can they? And they, I'm just going to move out, and then they're not going to be paying the rent. The thing is that I think we don't need to do this because a lot of landlords are willing to work with a lot of their tenants. Every landlord I spoke to today said, "Oh yeah, we've had issues in the past where people aren't current, and we figure it out. You know what? You'll pay an extra $100 every month into your remain whole." They work with the tenants, and the tenants are totally fine with that. The thing is that now we're giving people excuses not to pay the rent. Oh yeah, I can tell you my business, I've taken a hit. Does that mean I shouldn't pay my mortgage? The thing is that we got to think about this. People take hits. We all take hits. But we're just like we can't keep bailing people out. We've already bailed out the animal shelter. The animal shelter ran out in 2 weeks. They ran out of money. We bailed the animal shelter out, and now we want to bail more people out. To me, I think that's just we're forgetting the people, the actual taxpayers of Upland or taxpayers of California, because the lower class, they don't pay as much taxes. The higher class, they can take a year without paying, they'll be totally fine. But the middle class, the shrinking middle class, nobody ever talks for them. Nobody ever protects them. And I think this is another resolution that just benefits the lower class and keeps forgetting about the middle class. So the thing is that I'll tell you straight up, I'm against this resolution 100%. I think, and if you're going to look at this resolution, this is actually more forgiving than the governor, than our super liberal governor. He says by 27th, if they're not caught up on rent, that if they have to be caught up on, they have to be current on rent to be in the protection. Right here it says nowhere. It doesn't talk about being caught up. What if they're already a month behind? So the thing is that now we're saying, okay, now you can be a little bit more behind. Another thing he says is that we're giving them 30 days. The governor only gives them 7 days when they can do it. Then they have to show proof of not making enough money. They have to give the landlord a letter saying I have hardship. So the governor only gives them 7 days, and we want to give them 30 days. I think this is an absurd resolution. And no, the only thing I like about it, I'll tell you, is no late fees. If the resolution says no late fees and have the landlords work with the tenants, I'm good with that. But in this case here, these people can just bail out, and you can say, oh yeah, but you can do a lawsuit, eviction lawsuits, and all that stuff. You can, but you know what? You know what an attorney's going to tell you? They're going to tell you it's not worth taking it to collection. It's not worth it. You might just take the loss on your property and just get them out, and there you go. Because now we're just promoting squatters. And if you're a landlord, I don't know, Bill. You're in real estate. If you're and Rudy, when he first bought his house, he said he was able to rent out his other house next to it for his ADU, and that helped him pay the mortgage. So if you have a squatter there, you're losing money, and not just that, you're also losing your trash bill, your water bill, because you can't turn those off. They have to pay. You have to give them heat, water, and trash. So the thing is that now it's not that we're just giving them a freebie. We're not protecting our middle class. We're not protecting people that are trying to make America great. This is absurd. And this it really makes me sick. And if anything, we should say, you know what? Give us or share or give us part of your stimulus package to pay for your rent. Because guess what? My cell phone bill is still due. My internet bill is still due. My gas bill, gas companies still asking for their money. Southern California is still asking for their money. Every bill is still due. And guess what? Rent is a bill. My mortgage is a bill. So the thing is that, are we gonna promote irresponsibility? I'm 100% against that. I'm not here to promote irresponsibility.
Thank you, Mayor. Ma'am, are you done?
Yeah.
Thank you. Councilmember Belto.
I got to be honest with you, with that comment, that flow of comments, I really don't know what to say. This has nothing to do with middle class or any class of people. This has to do with people that are suffering right now. This doesn't mean that people are going to not pay their rent. What this does is helps people who have actual sicknesses, who are actually out of work. And most people probably will reach out to the landlord, and the landlord will probably work with many people. This is just not someone telling the landlord, I'm not going to pay you my rent, I'm going to put this money in my pocket. That's not what this is about. This is about people who are having actual financial difficulties. And from what I've been told and what I understand, the mortgage companies may be working with some of these landlords who do have properties with mortgages on them. Yes, this is a burden on everyone. There is no doubt about it, this is a burden on everyone. But to put people in classes and to put lower class and upper class and middle class, this virus pandemic is affecting all classes of people. And this council's responsibility is to look at the community as a whole. And if the governor's put out a direction, and correct me here if I'm wrong, city attorney, if the governor has put out instructions on what can be done, I believe the city going out and our own action on this does not stop it or prevent a landlord from starting a process that he probably will not be able to get very far in the courtroom. That's the one thing, because the courts are pretty much under the county, and if the county's made a direction of how they're going to handle it, then I believe the county has already put a moratorium out there. So I think that this is a no-brainer. This is strictly something to help people that are absolutely in dire straits financially. And I think that's important for us, the council, to take into consideration. And that's all I have right now at this moment. Thank you.
Councilmember Elliott.
Thank you, Mayor. So right now we're in an unprecedented time. In addition to the health crisis that we're currently experiencing, we've had an ongoing shortage of houses. We have a homeless situation, and now we're in a financial crisis pretty much worldwide. So as tenants are evicted, they're going to have a much harder time getting housing, and once they are evicted, they have a much harder time getting jobs. Therefore, their eviction exacerbates the economic situation in the city of Upland. If we can at least forestall that process, then we are actually contributing to the productivity of our residents and easing some of the stress of this situation. The agreement that we are considering does not excuse anybody from being a deadbeat. It only delays the payment of rent if the tenant can prove that their the reason for their not being able to pay rent is because of COVID-19, the restrictions due to COVID-19. This is not a freebie to anybody. And I do love the fact that we've got the opportunity to extend this to our commercials tenants as well, as one of our call-in speakers so eloquently put it. If we just give them a little bit more time to come up with this money, then we will all be better off. So I fully support this. And I do have a question for
Felix, did you have another comment?
Yeah, I had another comment. Obviously, it's like I totally get what Councilman Virginia was talking about, that, and like he said, he did need that property, and we have a lot of, I believe we have a lot of landlords in our community that they live here, but then they also have rentals here, and I know a lot of them are prepared for a rainy day, because to get to where you're at, to be able to buy property, you have to have a rainy day fund. The thing is that this is something that needs to be dealt with between the landlord and the tenant. Many landlords and tenants, they will work together and they'll figure out a solution. Every single one I spoke to says we will figure it out with the tenant, because we don't want them gone. They're great tenants, and we also understand the hardship. And it's not me trying to be heartless or anything. It's more that I also want to look out for a huge population of Upland that has rental property, that they need this money. This is their retirement. This is a retirement so they can actually retire at the age of 65. This is their extra income, and they need it, because we know sometimes pensions aren't as lucrative as they can be, and our cost of living doesn't. It just goes up and up and up. And so the thing is that it's not about being heartless or trying to help out a certain class. The thing is that nobody ever looks out for the person that actually has to pay the mortgage. Nobody's looking out for the mortgage payer, middle class most likely. And that's the person I want to look out for. I want to make sure that they know that, hey, we understand people need help, but you know what? Like Rudy said, he has to pay his mortgage. I still have to pay my mortgage, and like I said, I've been hit big time with this coronavirus. My work isn't as busy as it could be during this time. But you know what? We're making it work, because guess what? To have money, you have to eliminate. It's not always, sometimes it's not just an income problem. It's a expenditure problem. What if they have, get rid of your subscription? Get Disney Plus, Hulu, Netflix. Do you really need 300 megabyte internet, or can you go down to the free right now that Spectrum's doing, the 100 megabyte internet? There's a lot of things we can do to save our money. Can we turn off our lights now, that when we walk out the room? Because when I was growing up, my dad always got mad at me. Turn off your lights. But why do we gotta turn off our lights? Can we start becoming minimalist and start saving money? Because a lot of problem with a lot of problem right now is that people are spending too much. So what's gonna happen when they get the stimulus package from the federal government? Are they gonna pay the rent, or are they gonna go buy some golf clubs? That's the thing I'm worried about. The thing that stimulus package should be going to at least helping to pay your rent, or helping to help to pay the mortgage if you need it. We're forcing people's hands here. This is where I believe government is putting their hands way too much into our lives. And as a public servant, I want to get my hand out of your life and protect and let you do what you got to do. And you talk to your tenants, talk to your landlord, and I promise you they will help you out to make it a simpler transition during this time.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem.
Thank you, Mayor. This emergency declaration expires May 31st. This is a 2-month moratorium. This is not going to put a landlord into foreclosure, and upon that 2 months after May 31st, the tenant still has to pay the rent. So I feel that very strongly that, and I will make a motion if we're ready.
Let's see. Councilmember Elliott, did you want to make a motion?
I certainly would. I move that we adopt an ordinance to temporarily prohibit residential and commercial evictions due to financial hardships arising out of the COVID-19 pandemic, and read by title only and adopt the urgency ordinance of the City of Upland City Council adopting emergency regulations related to residential and commercial tenant evictions and declaring the urgency thereof.
Thank you very much. So pardon me?
I will second that.
All right, so we have to do a roll call vote, so we'll start off with...
Would you like me to read the title of the ordinance?
Yes, please, go ahead, Carrie.
An urgency ordinance of the City Council of the City of Upland adopting emergency regulations related to residential and commercial tenant evictions and declaring the urgency thereof.
Thank you very much, Carrie. So we'll start off with Mayor Pro Tem Felix,
No.
Councilmember Elliott,
Yes?
Councilmember Belto,
Yes.
Councilmember Zuniga,
Yes.
and myself is a yes.
Ooh.
So